everyone, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we're taking a look at the HG 1 to 300 scale model kit for Go-Saurer. So apparently this is an anime that I did not know existed, but I saw this model kit advertised on HLJ and I just thought it looked really cool. Apparently you can see here there are 3 children, which I'm assuming are the pilots, and there are basically these 3 like dinosaur mecha. There is Land Stego, Mach Terra, and Thunder Brockio, and they form together to have Saurer Jet, and then the Go-Saurer robot. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know anything about this anime. It looks cool. I wish I could watch it somewhere. But I just thought it looked amazing. I just thought it looked really, really neat. And I've already seen that they have done more, so there must be more mecha from the anime because they released a second robot, and then there's also a third one, which is like, I think the third one's like a big Triceratops. It just looks awesome. So I got this a while ago, and I kind of put it off to the side and forgot about it. And then when I saw that the new ones had been, I think one of them was released already, and the second one went up for pre-order. So I was like, I better get this out and get working on this because it looks really neat, but it's a 1 to 300 scale HG, so it's probably going to take me quite a bit to put together. We'll see how it goes, but I just thought it looked really cool. I mean, anytime you have, mechanized dinosaurs, I'm pretty much on board. But then the fact that they have the individual dino modes, the jet mode, and the robot mode, I just thought it looked like a ton of fun. So I'm going to go ahead, get started on this bad boy, and then we'll take a closer look. Alright, so the first formation I'm going to show you guys is the Saurer Jet, because this is how they have you build it in the instructions. They first have you put together the jet, and then as you combined into the 3 smaller dinos, they have you build a couple extra pieces to finish those transformations, and then we end with the robot. So I just wanted to show off the jet first. I really like it. I think it's cool. I love that it has a jet mode. It very much reminds me of Wing Gundam, especially with the feet, the way they kind of hang back, and then it has the wings on the back, which I think is really cool. I feel like the fuselage should be a little bit larger for the rest of the jet. I feel like it's a little smaller, but it is pretty cool. And the nice thing is there's not too many stickers on this set. Like this blue here and this blue here is a sticker, but like these clear pieces, that's all different colored plastic. The white's all different colored plastic. There's really not too many stickers, honestly. It's all just different colored pieces of plastic, and it looks cool. Underneath you can kind of see some of the other pieces that we'll get into a little bit later on. Straighten that out. But like these 2 here are stickers, these yellow and black, that's 2 stickers. I think the two of the dinos have stickers for their eyes. Like I said, this blue here. There's some stickers on the weapons we'll get to a little bit later, but I think overall there was about 10 stickers for the whole set, which is nice. You know me, I'm not a huge fan of stickers. This was a really fun build, and the instructions were great. It all went together very easily, and not, like I said, not too many stickers, so I was really impressed with it. But this is the Saurer Jet. You can kind of see part of the pterodactyl here. The legs will become part of the Brachiosaurus, and then this red centerpiece here is the Stegosaurus. So it does take all 3 of them to form the jet. Now, it doesn't take every single part of all 3 of them, and I'll show you what I mean a little bit later on. But this is the jet. It doesn't really have any articulation in this mode. I mean, technically you can fold the wings, but it doesn't really help you in jet mode. And, well, I guess you have this little gun here in the front. Can kind of angle around if you wish. Other than that, not too much going on as far as articulation for the jet, but I mean, I feel like that's pretty standard. Jets don't really articulate. So, all in all, I think the jet mode is pretty solid. Alright, so next up I'm going to transform him into the 3 individual dino modes. So the first thing I'm going to do is lift off this blue piece here with the wings. And that pegs in right here, so just try to lift this off, and you want to be careful just because they don't peg in like super snugly, but you just want to be careful that you don't break anything. So this whole piece lifts off. We're going to put that down here. I'm going to unpeg, let me see if I can move this up a little bit here. I'm going to unpeg the arms like so, or I should say what will become the arms, spoilers. Put them off to the side. This whole waist section will unpeg down here. just like that. You can see that's kind of going to become the whole kind of crotch and hips of the robot mode later on, but put that off to the side. And we'll start over here with the Stego. He's definitely my favorite. I don't know, I just think he's the most successful out of the three. So grabbing this red part right here, this is going to unpeg, and you can see our little Stego head underneath. You're going to come around to the back, and there is a long, thin piece of plastic there, a ridge, that's going to slide into that little crevice right there. So just line that up, and then that's going to slide right in there. And then you can kind of bend this up a little bit. Actually, you bend it up this way. No, I was right. You bend it up. I guess you do bend it down. Anyway, so there you go. That's going to become the tail of the Stego. You're going to flip out the feet and bring these haunches, I don't know what you would call these technically, the upper leg pieces of the Stegosaurus, for lack of a better term. So just kind of line those feet up so that they're level. Flip this around. And there you go. You have most of the Stego, but you might be saying, well, hey, the key point of a Stegosaurus, being his spines, is missing. You'd be correct. You have the shield piece, which is used in robot mode, that you just bend in half. And you can see tab goes into the tab slot right there. And then you take these two tabs, and they will peg onto these square tabs right here. And then boom, you have Land Stego. I think he looks fantastic. I love the fluorescent green spikes. He has the tail down here with the little spikes, which I think works. He's got the legs. Head looks really good. You have some swiveling here in the legs, and then you have a little bit of swiveling in the bottom part of the legs as well. But for the most part, there is your Land Stego, and I think he looks absolutely fantastic. All right, so next up we're going to do the pterodactyl. You'll need these three pieces. You're going to start by flipping the wings around 180 degrees, like so. You can kind of flip these down a little bit, just to kind of give it more of a pterodactyl wing design. Swivel this around, flip the head out, and there's your pterodactyl head. So that's kind of the main part, but you have to store these arm pieces somewhere. So you'll flip this down. This is going to come around like this, and then flip this down to form the foot. And then you'll see this peg sticking up straight there like that. So do the same with the other. And then it's kind of just about like finding a good angle for all this stuff, however you think it looks best. And then you're just going to peg these underneath here, like so. And there's the pterodactyl. Now, like I said, looking at it straight on, I feel like there's a lot of gap here. And I just don't love the way that that looks. I wish you could kind of push it up tighter. And I'm trying to see if I can do that. No, because then that would kind of stick out. So yeah, I don't know. It's something like this. Like I said, you can play with it. Find whatever angle you think looks the best. But I just think the pterodactyl is the least successful. But this guy's name is Terra, which if I'm not mistaken, I think Terra is also the name of a Mugenbein. But I could be wrong. But yeah, I kind of feel like the top part of the pterodactyl looks good, and then they just kind of jammed those legs on because they had to put them somewhere. So it kind of feels like two pieces put together. It kind of makes me think of like Skylinks, where it's kind of like the top looks like, you know, the pterodactyl monster thing, and then the lion part underneath. But overall, he's okay. I really like the head sculpt. I think the pterodactyl head looks really cool. But I just think it's not overall the most successful. And then last but not least, you have the leg section. You're going to lift up these guns just a smidge, just to kind of have them out like so. You're actually going to remove the feet. So it's a little difficult to do, but you kind of have to pull the feet off straight out like so. Oops, or you could take the whole foot off. There you go. Then you can put this back on the ball joint right here. Not a big problem if it comes off. So you have, there we go. Get this to stay together. Come on now. So you're actually going to take these and put these off to the side. And the cool thing is they give you this little tray to hold unused pieces. So you can see here you have the whole neck of the Brachiosaurus. You're going to take that off. And then we can actually attach the feet in the meantime. So I think that's pretty cool. It's kind of like a little extra piece caddy, just so you don't lose anything. And then you're going to take this, and this is going to kind of drop down over top of these two pegs like so. There we go. That clips on. And then you're going to come down here, and the feet will flip out from here. He's got really tiny little feet, but that's going to flip out. And that's going to flip out. There we go. And that's it. That is the Brachiosaurus. That is Thunder Brockio. Now, I feel like this piece is primed to have some kind of tail attachment. And I've looked all around, and I can't find anything that would be used for a tail, so I don't think I'm missing anything. I think it's literally just like this. It's all right. I think it's a little more successful than the pterodactyl because it doesn't look as disjointed. I just wish he had some kind of tail. I guess maybe they're saying this is his tail, but even if they just gave you just like a little bit longer piece to just kind of stick on here so that you could kind of angle this up a little bit and just have like a tail, I think that'd be a lot more successful. All it would have taken is just another little piece. I mean, it doesn't need to be used for anything else. You know, just like the neck here could have been put off to the side when doing the robot or the jet. Just a little something to peg onto that, because that piece is right there. It's just waiting for something to be pegged on. So if they just came up with some little tail piece, boop, and then I think he'd be a lot more successful. But overall, I think he's okay. Not terrible. I like the translucent blue piece. He's got the guns at least. Although I guess they're shooting something attacking from above. But he's okay. Now apparently in the cartoon, the box makes mention, and I guess this is as good a time as any, I have the hand on here. The hands are kind of a pain in the butt, but I'll get into that more later. Every time you want to take something in and out of the hand, you have to completely take it apart. So this piece comes off, and then this piece comes off, and then you have to take that part out, and we'll get to that later on. But it says that just like in the cartoon, the sword can be held in his mouth, which I've never seen the cartoon, but it sounds awesome. But yes, he can hold the sword in his mouth. Apparently that is something they wanted to make mention of. He certainly can do it. But yeah, I think that's it for Thunder Brockio. But yeah, he looks pretty cool. Alright, so now we'll get into the full combination of Go-Saurer. Let's see, where should I start? We'll start with Thunder Brockio. You're just going to go ahead, take that head off, put that to the side. You can go ahead, break the legs apart a little bit there. We're going to go ahead and bring that caddy back in so we can get our feet. Just like that, put that back off to the side. Going to peg those right back onto here. And you don't have to worry, they're exactly the same. So you don't have to worry about which one goes on which foot. It doesn't matter. So push that back in. Of course, we're going to fold up all of the little dino feet. And then what we're going to do, you're actually going to pull the leg out to extend. So you want to pull that, and it'll kind of soft click in place. Now once you do that, you're going to, there's a little tab here on the blue piece that you need to get to come forward so that this can clear. This will go all the way in, and then you can close this back up. Now they do advertise that you can kind of have this out for the robot mode, but you can't really lift any higher than that, so I don't really feel like it's a very effective weapon unless he's like smiting small things in front of him. So I'm just going to close him up and just leave him like that. But that's pretty much the entire lower body of the robot mode. So we'll put that off to the side for a moment. We'll zoom out a smidge here. Going to take this guy, take these pieces off like I talked about earlier. they will become arms, as I mentioned. This is going to close up like so. This is going to come... I'm trying to remember now. I think this stays like this. I have to consult the box for one moment. These are going to flip up like so. Yeah, I think they just stay like this. I think this will go... These slide down, as you can see. And these are just clips, so you can just slide that up. And then you're going to put this off to the side for a moment. You're going to come to the Stego. You're going to take this piece off. And you can transform it back into the shield. Like so. This actually has a piece over here that you peg in for the handhold for the shield. Just like that. I leave the fist on this one because this one is such a pain in the butt to get it pegged in all around the hold for the shield. Plus the hold in the shield I feel like is 90 degrees from how I'd want it. But you can just use it like this. So there you go. The shield's all ready to go. But like I said, I try to just always leave the hand pieces. See, this is actually starting to break on me. This piece of the shield here. So this is one handle. And I've tried to peg this on, but it starts up. Yep, I just broke it. I literally just broke it. Okay, well there you go. That happened live on camera. As you can see, it still holds in there. But yeah, that piece just broke off. There was a smaller piece. It was just two pieces. There's one like that. It looks exactly the same. There was a small piece of plastic connecting them. And the one time I went to put the hand on, it bent weird. And it never really recovered from that. So there you go. Apparently that broke off. But as you can see, I don't think it's going to fall out anytime soon. It honestly might be easier. Because now I might just be able to wiggle it in and out. Yeah, I think I can just do that actually. It might make it easier. So as you can see, this was connected here like this. And it was a little thinner there because I think inside the hand, if you can see that, there's kind of like a little channel. It's very hard to see, but you can see there's two little pieces of plastic. There's a little channel. And I think this piece that was thinner was supposed to fit in between there. And the first time I did it, I didn't realize that. And so when I put it on, I think it bent it weird. And it's never really been the same since then. But honestly, this might be easier because now I can just push this in. And now, see how tightly that fits in there? That's not going anywhere. Yeah, honestly, oh, you know what? I did it on the wrong angle, though. We'll see how... Whoops. And now the fingers are popping off. We got all kinds of stuff going on. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is my only complaint about this whole build. These hands are so dumb. Why did they build them this way? This is so dumb. All right, I'm gonna have to do this later. Anyway, we're gonna put that off to the side for now. I'm done playing with that right now. Coming back to the Stegosaurus, you're gonna fold the legs in like so. Fold these in. Then you're gonna rotate this around like so. You're gonna take this piece off, and this just sits off to the side. You can bring this caddy back in, and it'll actually peg in right there. And just kind of hang out. So put that off to the side. You're going to, this part's a little difficult, but this whole piece right here, you have to, and you can kind of open these up because they have like a butterfly joint for the shoulder, which is nice. And then you kind of have to wiggle this out because it's in there kind of tightly, I'll be honest. There we go. So you can see how it just pegs over these two pieces and pegs into that. I wish it was on a hinge. The front's on a hinge, and I don't know why they couldn't do it for both. Every time I have to pull that out of there, it scares me. But this piece, you can close this back up. This will open up to form the chest. You can see that. It looks really cool like that. Then you're going to fold these down like so. This is going to fold forward. This whole section is going to rotate 180 degrees. Then you're going to pop that back in. Now you can see here, he's got like a folded up version of the crest. I'm assuming on the show, once the head folds out, these probably fold down to the side. But because this is such a small piece, they couldn't really build the joint in there. So you just take this piece off. You come around to our little caddy. You pull off the actual crown piece. peg this one under here for storage, like so. Put that back off to the side. And then you're going to peg in the new crown piece, like so. I swear you can do it. There we go. So there you go. You peg in the new crown piece. And I'm going to show you the head now because I feel like it's easier to do it now. That's all different colored plastic. There's no stickers there. That jewel, the blue jewel is a piece of plastic. The green eyes are translucent plastic. The red, the white, it's all different colored plastic. I mean, that's awesome. And then you have this jewel here in the center. And there's kind of like a cool like transistor sticker under there. They give you two options. There's actually like a solid reflective silver sticker or that kind of like inner workings mechanical sticker. And you can just choose which one you want to put in there. I opted for the mechanical one. I thought it looked neater. And then you just put the clear plastic blue piece on top. But there you go. So now your torso is done. You can come over here and peg this in underneath and get this going like so. So he's just about ready there. You're going to bring these... Oops, I have to put this back piece back on. That goes back on there. Get the shoulders right. Okay, there we go. I'm going to take these feet from the pterodactyl. They're going to rotate down. This is going to rotate up. And then I believe this rotates like this. You can kind of tell, see how they have kind of like a weird cutout there? That always faces towards the inside. This is going to flip back like so. And then you're all ready to go. And then you peg this in here like that. And the fist will peg in there. I have to get them ready, as you know. I just had the one fall apart on me on the shield there. So I'll get to that in a second. So then do this. Rotate this. Fold that up. Get that ready. Peg that into this shoulder. Like so. And then you're going to come around to the back. Take this, peg it onto those two pegs right there. And there you go. Fold these back just a smidge. And he is pretty much ready. We just have to get his hands put together. Alright, so basically how this works. Here's the sword, by the way. I love the sword. Absolutely fantastic. So what you have to do, you have to take... There's three basic pieces. There's the ball joint here. Let me zoom in a little bit more so you can see this. This piece is kind of like the grip, and then you have the thumb piece. So you kind of have to take the grip, make sure I'm not doing this wrong, and put the sword into the grip. Okay, and then you have to put this into this piece, and then put the thumb piece over top. You know what? I put it in upside down. See, I'm really bad at this because I feel like it's more confusing than it needs to be. And some of you veteran model builders might be like, "Hey, idiot! It's really not that difficult. You're making it hard," and that's possible. I'm not going to say that that's not true. But I'm so used to, you build a fist, which I'm fine with building the fist. But then once you do that, you should be able to just drop the weapons in and out of the fist. It would be much easier to just do it that way. I don't understand why I have to completely take apart the fist every time I want to put in or remove a weapon. It seems really dumb to me. So now that I have that put together, I can go ahead and let me zoom out. There we go. And then you just pop these ball joints into the forearms there. And there we have our completed Go-Saurer. I think it looks great. I really do. They have what they call an anime version, where if you saw these pylons here on the side, you can take these off like so. And then you can actually take these pieces off, which have kind of the haunches for the Stegosaurus's legs. Or you can't, actually. I don't know what happened there. Alright, that's new on me. You're supposed to be able to pop them off of these ball joints. There we go. Jeez. They did not want to come off. It's weird how they do it. Instead of it just being a ball joint, it's like a normal peg that they put a rubber piece on. So anyway, you can push this on there, and it just kind of gives it a more like stylized look. As you can see, they also tell you you can take these leg pieces off just to make it look thinner, and they call that the anime look. So basically you have normal look on this side and anime look on that side. I personally don't care. I'm just gonna, especially with how difficult it was to get these off of here, I'm gonna go ahead and just leave the normal Stego pieces on there, because I really don't want to break anything while I'm constantly trying to trade these back and forth. So I'm just going to leave all of this on, but I wanted to at least show off that option because they do include it. I still think this model is really awesome. I think this is a great mecha. I'm really interested to try to track down a way to watch the cartoon. I'll have to check YouTube or something like that. I don't know how old this anime is, so I'll have to see. But I would really be interested to check it out. Apparently it's like 3 kids that go to school, and then in their spare time they drive a giant dinosaur mecha. You know, like we all do. Anyway, it's a really cool model. I think the design looks great. Articulation-wise, the head is on a ball joint, so you can move that all around. You do have that swivel there in the shoulder. You have that little bit of a butterfly joint as well, but it kind of gets, this chest piece gets in the way. If you moved that back down, you could do it a lot more. But with it fully extended, you can't really go that far with it. But you do have up and down here in the shoulder. You have a bicep swivel. You have elbow joint, ball joint in the hand there. You don't really have anything in the waist, but you have that kind of below the waist, side to side, because of where that piece pegs in. You do have a ball joint in the hip. You have a thigh swivel. I think you have a little over 90 degrees in the knee there, and then ball joint in the ankle. So I think it looks really cool. You also have kind of a heel that can move, if that helps at all. And you can move the toes a little bit as well. It's mostly for the jet mode, but if it helps you make a pose happen in robot mode, go for it. It is there for you. So I think he looks awesome with the sword and the shield. I really do. The only complaint I have with this is the hands. I think the way they chose to do them is dumb. And like I said, maybe it's very typical for 1 in 300 scale models. 1 to 300 scale models. I don't do a ton of them. I'll be honest, I don't. But I don't know. To me, I don't mind putting together a hand, but then I want the hand to just be normal and you can just slide the weapons in and out instead of having to completely take them apart, like fit them into a piece and then build 2 pieces over top of it. That just seems unnecessarily complicated to me. And it led to, you know, my shield piece there breaking, which luckily it still works. It's not a huge problem. I don't care if I don't need that little nubbin piece as long as everything still works. But it just seems unnecessarily complicated. Just build the fist and then you should just be able to drop the weapons in and out. You know, I guess they want it to be more secure, and I guess technically this way it is, but I feel like it would be just as secure having gravity hold it in place. I don't know, it's just me. The other thing that I think is actually really cool, you can come back here if you would like, and you can actually drop the wings, and they'll click about that far down in place. There's kind of like a track they run on. So if you don't want them to have the wings deployed necessarily, you can kind of just have it like that. And I think that's a really cool look. I like that a lot. I like it both ways, honestly. I think with the wings deployed or folded up, both look really cool. So I love this model. Like I said, it was really fun to put together. It wasn't overly complicated. You don't really have to do any painting at all. I mean, I think on the box they showed that they did panel lines and stuff down here on the legs. And if you do it, it'll look better, but I don't think it needs it. Honestly, it's got enough different colored plastic that it just looks good on its own, just by being built. I love the translucent blue and green they throw in to brighten it up. Just all the way around, I really like it. I think it's a cool combination. Jet mode, 3 dino mode, robot mode, all of that's really cool. And I recommend it. I think I got this one in HLJ. I think they still have it in stock. So if you'd like to go check it out, you certainly can. Really, my only complaint is the hands. I think it's a little unnecessary to have to kind of take them apart to make the weapons go in. I'd rather you just slide them in and out, but I feel like I'm just beating a dead horse at this point. It's a very cool model. I definitely recommend it. That's going to do it for this one. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thank you so much for watching.